Chapter 1: Connecting the Dots. Why do some entrepreneurs seem to have more time, energy, and focus than everyone else? Given the same number of hours in a day and similar abilities and challenges, what are they doing differently to scale their companies so quickly? Where do they find time to plan for the future when the rest of us are too busy stamping out fires and controlling chaos? Who are these crazy people, and what makes them so special? What's the big secret? These are the types of questions that plagued me for years. Questions that needed answers. The problem. After completing my second year of university, I was burned out and needed a break. As my friends competed for a handful of summer jobs offering invaluable industry experience, I opted for sunshine and exercise at a local home improvement center. It was there that I met my wife, who also happened to be the owner's daughter, another story for another time. She worked alongside her parents, two sisters, and brother, all of whom were actively involved in the business. Despite the razzing I received from my comrades in the lumberyard, I was graciously welcomed into her family's inner circle and exposed to an entirely new and exciting world of a family-run business. I was hooked. To make a long story short, I graduated 4 years later, got married, and accepted a sales position within their organization. Fast forward 15 years. I was a vice president, had earned my stripes, and had the battle scars to prove it. Our business exploded in growth and received numerous awards along the way. But there was a problem. We were putting in ridiculously long hours and burning the candle at both ends. Throw 3 kids into the mix, and needless to say, my hands were full, both figuratively and literally. I needed help. In that time, I read more business books than I could count and attended scores of seminars to improve my skills as a leader, husband, and father. But my achievements were often short-lived, and I began to question if there was something wrong with me. After all, the experts had done their job, so the onus must be on me. My frustration grew, along with my list of unanswered questions. Then, I had an epiphany. Well, actually 2. One morning, I rummaged through my desk and stumbled across an old notebook. Inside were the notes from a round-table meeting I had attended earlier in the year, outlining the typical problems my colleagues and I had grown accustomed to complaining about every time we met. I skimmed over the action plan and thought to myself, I don't have time for this. And as I motioned to return my book to the drawer, it hit me. Why didn't I have time? What was holding me back? Suddenly, the problem was obvious. My long-standing issue wasn't the result of faulty advice, but rather with my ability to implement it. I couldn't move forward because I was stuck dealing with all sorts of random things in the business. I also realized I wasn't alone, and many of my colleagues were in similar predicaments. There was a missing link between destinations A and B, and it became my mission to find out what it was. So instead of picking up another self-help book, I focused my attention on what my role models were doing rather than what they were saying. The solution. As it turns out, these entrepreneurs, the ones who seem to have unlimited time and resources, are no different than you or me. We all have the same ambitions for success, the freedom of choice, and the technical abilities to achieve great things in our respective fields. However, unlike the masses, they've also developed a specific skill set attributed to their expedited growth. The good news is that it can be taught to anyone at any stage of their business. For those who've learned how to clone themselves, the future is wide open and filled with endless possibilities.